Diet and nutrition is not the cure-all. It is the cure most, but not quite the cure-all. And it can do wonders for our mood. It can do wonders for depression. And I know the better I eat, the better I feel. And I have tested this. I've eaten crap for a while and I thought, God, I feel like crap. And then I've eaten really, really cleanly, really good, really healthy, or lots of organic, lots of just the rawest materials, fruits, vegetables, and it makes me feel a whole lot better. And this is pretty much across the board. Anyone who eats crap is just going to start feeling crap. If you're eating fast food, if you're eating processed food, if you're eating the carcasses of tortured and murdered animals, you're not going to feel too good. When you start putting light into your body, the light from the vegetables, the light from the fruit, you start feeling lighter. And when we put in the heavy stuff, the meats, the fast food, the processed food, the dairy, we start to feel heavier. So a great tip for life is move towards what makes you feel lighter and move away from what makes you feel heavier. Very, very simple. And the foods that we put into our body are either going to make us feel lighter or going to make us feel heavier. And whenever we eat a meal, we'll know, are we suddenly in an energy abundance or are we in an energy deficit? Do we eat our meal and suddenly we just slump down, we can't think straight, we get this like lull in the middle of the day or after we eat our meal in the evening? Or do we eat our meal and we feel energetic, we feel like we want to do something? So you can kind of judge how you feel, and depression is basically feeling heavy. You're feeling low, you're feeling heavy, and it's a feeling that's in the body. It's a feeling in the body, you can detect it in the body somewhere. So I'm sure you've heard the saying, you are what you eat. And we are what we eat and what we absorb as well, because we don't absorb everything. But basically the vibration that we put into our body, that vibration will go throughout us. So if we're, for example, if we're eating the tortured and murdered carcass of an animal, really we're taking the fear of that animal into our body. Most animals, if you're not quite aware, live in conditions that are worse than Nazi concentration camps. The majority of them do. And then they're murdered at the end of their lives. Sometimes that's when they're babies, if they're veal calves or whatever they are. The very beginning of their lives, that's them. They're after a few weeks they're taken out, put on people's plates so they can eat them. And so the first few weeks of their life until they get to that stage, I think 40 days, and they go through horrible conditions. It's like being in hell for them. So then we're taking those animals, we're putting them on our plate, and we're eating them. So we're taking in all that memory, all that pattern, the memory of that animal throughout its whole life. And then when it gets killed, all the fear that's going through its body, all the adrenaline, we're taking that and then we're putting that into our body. So then we're going to feel some of that fear. We're going to be taking on some of those patterns from that animal. So the animals are kind of getting their own back by killing us when we eat them and making us depressed, making us feel heavy and feel down. And for dairy it's the same. The cow is in a really horrible condition. It's not like, I remember seeing a milk van recently, and it showed the cows out in this field, and this like big milkmaid sitting on a little stool milking the cow, and a smiley cow in this field. It's really not like that, so you can look into what it's really like. So they go through these disastrous conditions throughout their whole life. Every time they have a baby, the baby gets ripped completely off them, taken away either to become a veal calf or grow up as another dairy cow, etc. And so you can imagine, like any mother, like having her baby taken off her, every couple of years when she's reproduces another baby. The effect that's going to have on her, the depression, the low feeling. This is Michael, by the way. He's a great boy. He's a very happy putty cat. Aren't you, boy? Yeah, so let's get back to that one. So you're taking in, when you take that milk in, that vibration, those frequencies from that cow that's really not happy at all, in a very depressed state, very fearful state, taking that milk, that cheese, and then we're putting that into our own body. So then we're taking on some of those patterns from those animals into our system. Same with eggs actually as well. Those chickens, as much as they say they're free range, happy chickens, etc., they're not, and they go through a horrible life as well. And then we're taking in their fear, that pattern, that vibration. So what do we want to do? We want to basically get that out of our body, get that heaviness out of our body, make ourselves feel lighter, and then that will start to lift any depression that we have in most cases. So eating plenty of fruits, plenty of vegetables, as much raw food as possible. You'll feel the difference if you eat a cooked meal and you eat a raw meal. The cooked meal tends to make us a bit heavier because our body has to work a lot, has to produce a lot of enzymes to break down that food. And so if we're eating a raw meal with enzymes already in it, a raw vegan meal or just a vegan meal with lots of salad with it, we're going to feel good afterwards. We're going to feel lighter. Once we get those toxins out of our body, once we clean out our liver holds a lot of fear, a lot of anger in our liver. So once we cleanse our liver, our kidneys as well, cleanse the liver, cleanse the kidneys, we're actually cleansing the fear, the anger, the negative vibrations out of our body. Because emotions, they sit inside our body. They'll sit in our organs, they'll sit in our joints, they'll sit in our muscles. And the same way as when we get stressed. When we get stressed, we'll either feel it in our shoulders, they'll tense up because those stressful, fearful, because stress is another word for fear, those fearful emotions will sit in the muscles, or they'll sit in the stomach and create acid and create digestive problems and everything. So this is another absolutely top tip for completely beating depression and cleansing it out of your system, cleansing it out of your body by eating the fruits, eating the vegetables, juicing them, making smoothies, eating salads, eating a vegan diet, high raw. That is going to detox your system, make you feel a lot lighter. Like I said, it's not the cure-all. It won't cure everybody's depression, but it will make you feel a lot better, and it will give you a lot more empowerment, a lot more energy to make other changes in your life that will give you all the lifestyle changes that will make the difference long term. My name is Matthew Armstrong. Tune in next time.